Hey guys, I just wanted to send a quick welcome. It's Wednesday, July 15th, and you've probably, hopefully, taken a decent look through the course and started your reading. If you haven't, then get on it and open up your free textbook for the course. I was able to find a great copy of it online through a university, and it's legitimate and it reads just as the text usually does. So you guys have that. So I'm just going to walk you really briefly through the course. I've had a couple students ask me, where can I find the due date for this? And how do I do this? So everything's pretty organized here, but I want to show you how to access everything. So on a day-to-day basis, by the way, you need to be logging in. I would recommend at least 3 times a week. This is a 3-week course that satisfies a 16-week course. So you get 3 credits for 3 weeks. So if you're going to log in 1 time a week, it's not going to cut it. You can't possibly complete a 16-week course by logging in once a week for 3 weeks. So please, please, please log in several times a week or you're going to get behind, and I can't stretch the due dates. Otherwise, students really fall behind and they don't pass the class. So commit yourself for the next 3 weeks to get this done. I've stretched the timeline so that if you want to, you can submit an assignment Monday through Friday at midnight. That's why I haven't had us meet at a certain time every day, because I just think that's unsuccessful. It's unrealistic for people with jobs, and it's just a tough expectation. So we are not going to be meeting at a specific time. I was considering having 1 virtual class, but I've been reaching out to students and everyone's schedule is so different that it might be tricky, but I'll reach out if that happens. So on a day-to-day basis, you're going to check your announcements. Typically, I send them via email, so there'll always be a copy of the announcements here on your homepage, but they will also be in your inbox if I ever send one. So if you didn't check out the greeting, I sent you guys an announcement first thing Monday morning when the course started. So you want to, if you haven't done this already, you need to go to Important Course Information and Syllabus. A copy of the syllabus is right here. It tells you our learning objectives, and this is like the Bible of the course schedule. You want to open that up. It's not going to let me here. So this has your due dates. This has what you should be doing when. Sometimes, for example, let's see, towards the second half, see instructor's announcement for second week for details. I'm going to talk about this for your course final. We're either going to do a quiz or a paper, and I'm going to allow you guys to vote on that in the next week or so. But for the most part, all of your due dates are here, and it tells you at what part of the week you should be starting what. That's pretty self-explanatory here, so make sure you open that, and I would suggest printing it out or leaving a copy on your desktop so you have it handy. Okay, so your syllabus is here. I have a little blurb about me if you're curious about my background. Been teaching psychology and social work for about 6 years now. I've taught in Delaware, and I've been teaching at Lehman for several years. I love it. I love working with students online. I'm a private therapist. I see clients throughout the week. Right now I'm seeing them online, and it's interesting. It's different. So if you have any questions about, psychology or social work, that's my field and that's my passion. I also put a link to your course calendar here. So there's so many places to find the due dates. The course calendar outlines everything. If you're a visual person, instead of like a list, it shows you what you need to do when. So for example, today's the 15th. By the end of the week, you need to complete the Chapter 1 discussion board, and next week by Friday, a few discussion boards, and you need to have posted your behavior change project. So the one thing that I don't like about the calendar view is that if you're just looking at due dates and you're waiting until the day before, you're going to be slammed and you're not going to learn. So the thing I like about the course calendar that I made is that I tell you at the beginning of the week what you should be working on. So for right now, you need to be reading chapters 1 and 2. By the end of the week, they should be completed, and next week you should be starting chapters 3 and 4. So take it with a grain of salt. Yes, these are the due dates here on the calendar view, but you need to be starting your work way before these due dates here to be able to keep up. Okay, your lesson plans. Learning materials is the next most important priority here. You've got your chapters 1 and 2 here. I outline exactly what you should be doing and the steps you should do. You should follow. So read chapter 1. The link is in the email I sent you and the announcement and the syllabus. So it's in a few places. Watch the PowerPoint. So you're going to click, let me just go into student mode here. Okay, so let me go back to learning materials. This is where you're going to get your lesson plans each week. So you're going to click on week 1, chapters 1 and 2. Read chapter 1 in your book. So you're going to open up the text online. You're going to start reading. You're going to watch the PowerPoint videos here. Here's chapter 1 PowerPoint. Then you're going to read chapter 2. And you're going to watch the chapter 2 PowerPoint. I've also linked them without audio for studying purposes. So if you'd like to first watch it, make sure you watch it with the audio because that's the lecture that I've saved. And then without audio is a great study tool. So you're welcome to print those out in a handout version or whatever you want to do to study for the quiz. Make sure that you complete the discussion board assignment by July 17th. That's this Friday. So you're going to go into discussion board. Hopefully you've already introduced yourself. If you haven't, please stop by and tell us about yourself. Looks like most of us have. It's great. You're going to go into chapter 1 discussion board. These are the exercises. So you're answering these questions. Have you ever worked with anyone like Jenny? If you read the chapter, you'll know who I'm referring to. Discuss 2 advantages to learning about human relations. Would you be interested in telecommuting for work? That's very relevant right now. So yeah, a couple of you have already started answering, which is fantastic. So you're going to create a thread, and you're going to answer your questions. And then for every single discussion board, which there's only a handful, by the way, you're going to then respond to another peer. So Yahindi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You're going to read Yahindi's response and then reply to her. Tell us something constructive that you felt in response to her writing. Do you agree with her? Do you see another side? What did you find relevant about what she said? Give us something substantial, something worthwhile. I have seen a couple students say, yeah, what he said, or yeah, cool. That's not helpful, and that's not creating a discussion. We want to try and create a similar discussion to the one we would have in the classroom. Okay, anyway, so you get the point. Go into the discussion board and say your piece and respond to others. Okay, so you're going to be doing that. And if you need to, you can go back to the learning materials to make sure you've completed everything. But all of the due dates are here. They're in your, I only show a couple weeks at a time because I don't want students going into the 3rd week and rushing and racing through this. I want you to digest the material and learn something here so it's worthwhile. These concepts are so relevant. It's all about your life, about your career, about your networking, about your engagement. This is not learning about some historical figure that doesn't really play a role in your life. This is all about you. So make the next 3 weeks worthwhile and get something out of it. I would love to see you guys, find this relevant to you, to your lives, and do something with it. So also an important thing that you need to look out for. Go into the assignment section, immediately open up your behavior change plan. I want you to get started on this right away. What you're going to do is start your plan, read through this. The instructions are very clear. Choose a behavior that you'd like to work on for the next couple weeks. Put it in your contract here. Save your Word document. Then what I want you to do is go into the discussion board, go to behavior change feedback, create your thread, and literally post your goals. Then what we're going to do is I want you to read 3 other students' work, their behavior change goals. So someone might be saying, hey, I want to quit smoking, or I want to drastically reduce my cigarette use, or I want to get outside more, or something, it's got to be measurable, it's got to be specific, and I talk all about this in the assignment. It has to follow this, what we call SMART protocol. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. So is this something that you can work on in 3 weeks? Maybe you're not going to quit smoking in 3 weeks if you're a chronic smoker, but you might be able to cut back a couple a day in a couple weeks, right? Maybe you want to focus on school for the next 3 weeks. How can we make that goal measurable? Those are examples, but I give you some examples in the instructions as well. So you're going to create your thread, you're going to post your goal, and then 3 people are going to respond to you. This is an important part. I have some students wait until the last minute to post it, and then they don't get peer feedback, and then they can't put the feedback in the next section of the assignment. So over the next week, your peers are going to respond to your paper. You're going to copy their responses, put it back into your original document, and then post it here in the assignments. And I explain all of that. So I will review that just before you guys have to do this. But you're going to log into Blackboard, click on Behavior Change Project. Once you've received your feedback in the discussion board, you're going to save that document. You're going to browse your computer, choose the document, and submit it, and then I can grade it. The discussion board part, where you post your goal for peers to provide feedback on, that's worth 5 points. So that's a graded assignment. That's an expectation that you do that, so we can encourage each other to interact, learn about each other's goals, that kind of stuff. All right, but I will explain that more. I just wanted you to get a head start on that because it's going to be due soon. I do talk about that in your summer schedule here. So after you complete your Chapter 1 discussion board, you're going to begin your behavior change plan. You've got to post it to the discussion board by the 19th, which is next week. So I would make sure you do that this weekend, if not beforehand. Okay? Anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you a sense of the layout of the course. Again, anytime you're confused about a due date, there's no reason to not be able to find where these things are, when they're due. There's several locations. The course calendar, the course schedule, which I like better because I tell you when to start things, and in your lesson plans, right here. Okay? Any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm constantly checking the discussion board instructor interview tab. There have been several students who have reached out there so far, and I respond to email. So Shinel and Glenica, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Gleniqua, they've already used that tool well. So please feel free to reach out and let me know how you're doing. Let me know how this is starting out, and I'll be sure to give you a quick turnaround. Thanks so much, guys. Chat soon.